Good afternoon, Your Honor. Daniel Magoo.
All right. Mr. Gu, you are representing yourself. I do have to apprise you that you are before the court on charge of resisting and obstructing a police officer. That is a high court misdemeanor, or what technically is known as a high court misdemeanor, and or felony punishable by up to 2 years, $2,000 fine plus court costs. There are great perils in representing yourself in this. You have to understand that I am going to treat you the same as though you know the laws and the rules of evidence. I will not treat you worse because you are not represented. I will not treat you better or grant any favors or try to clarify anything for you. If for whatever reason during any point in this proceeding you wish to be represented by counsel and cannot afford to hire counsel, counsel will be appointed to represent you. As I have in the past hearings asked you to acknowledge what I've said, I'm going to only indicate that I believe that you understand English. You believe that the words that I have said to you are understood, so that we don't get into, you need to remove the gum from your mouth.
Mr. McEwer is back, and he's about to learn exactly why having legal representation is so important. If this is your first time watching my channel, this is part 2 of a video we covered a little while ago. Daniel McEwer is an absolute fool. He refuses to answer Judge Simpson's questions and carries himself like a smug know-it-all who thinks he's above everyone else. As you can see, it was already a rough beginning for Mr. McEwer. And honestly, even saying that name feels strange. It's just an unusual name. But jokes aside, it was not a good start for him. He was literally chewing gum in a courtroom while representing himself with no attorney by his side. You need legal representation, guys. Seriously, do not make the same mistake Mr. McEwer is making here. But enough from me, let's go ahead and jump right in to see what unfolds between McEwer and Judge Simpson.
And
Thank you.
so I will not ask you to acknowledge. I will presume that you do indeed understand everything that I've said. Now, having said that, what are we doing with this case?
I'd like to move for evidentiary hearing or
You wish to have a preliminary examination?
preliminary examination. Yes, sir.
Would the people have their witnesses available the second?
We can try, Your Honor, but before moving toward that, would the court be willing to make its inquiries about discovery? I am aware of the defendant having filed a writ of mandamus with the Court of Appeals of the state of Michigan.
Yes.
That was subsequently without prejudice by the Court of Appeals.
Correct.
Contained within that, though, there are allegations that my office has violated its Brady obligations and has not provided sufficient discovery. So I'm not sure if we're ready to move forward to preliminary exam. The defendant is saying that he doesn't have all of the discovery. That is the concern. The record I feel compelled to make at this time, though, is that the people have provided, I do believe, complete discovery to the defendant, and I believe that some of the representations that were made in this writ of mandamus that has been dismissed include appear to allege that things that have already been denied by this court should be produced. Furthermore, the defendant filed a motion with no notice of hearing attached to it. So there's an outstanding motion in this case as well, no hearing date scheduled. So I'm hoping that we can sort of reconcile both of those things as to whether or not discovery is something the defendant is prepared to move forward, and if he ever has filed a notice of hearing to go along with the motion that I received in this case on 11/22.
Mr. Magoo, your response?
My response is that I thought this was the hearing that we were setting for the motion. So if I have to set a motion for a notice of hearing for that motion, I will do that today, Your Honor, promptly.
What about discovery?
I'm ready to move forward on my what I meant by my discovery comment was that there's still no exculpatory evidence as far as that I did anything wrong as far as anything that they've submitted. So if it was improper for the wording, Your Honor, I apologize, but my ultimate goal is have the prosecution present their evidence against.
I'm gonna indicate discovery is complete because I don't know what you're saying. Because what you just said regarding discovery didn't make any sense. As it regards the motion, we will hear the motion on, or the motion will be heard on date of exam.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Deal with it at that point in time. So the people would have their witnesses available on the second.
We can try for the second, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person, January 2nd, 2025. 12.
Yeah.
12 noon, that is before me.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And continue.
This guy is unbelievably smug, and for some reason he tries to outsmart the judge. I genuinely don't know why he thought that would be a smart move. If anyone has insight into why he acts so irrationally, let me know in the comments. Tell me, he comes across like a sovereign citizen. I've covered a few sovereign citizen cases on my channel, and they all seem to share that same arrogant, over-the-top, authoritative tone toward the judge, as if they're superior. It's just wild to watch. Keep in mind, he's facing charges for assaulting a police officer. On top of that, he lost custody of his child because of it. You don't just lose custody for no reason, that's a serious situation. This isn't something to brush off. Yet he behaves like it's just another casual day, strolling into court claiming innocence without taking it seriously. He desperately needs legal representation. Instead, he's only making things worse and practically turning everyone against him. Representing yourself rarely ends well, and this is a perfect example. Not only is he dealing with criminal charges, but he's also lost his child. It's hard to understand how someone acting this immature could handle that responsibility. That's going to wrap up my thoughts on this clip. I'll be posting the next court hearing in January when it becomes available. I think it's going to be incredibly interesting. If you enjoyed this breakdown, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, take care.